The Supreme Court did not decide on the merits about Donald Trump's mail-in balloting executive order. Okay? They said it can move forward for now because the lawsuit wasn't ripe. Meaning what? The law hasn't been finalized. The rule hasn't been put into effect. So this idea that it's a huge win, no, not really. Okay? Due process matters. Bringing a suit at the right time matters. I expect there's going to be another suit when the rule is put into effect. They're going to claim that it's hurting them and restricting access, and then there's going to be another Supreme Court situation, and I think there's going to be an injunction. But here's a part of it that nobody's talking about. The president is also pushing for federal oversight of voter rolls, proof of citizenship requirements, a return to paper ballots, expanded election monitoring, all the things that he believes will help his fortunes, okay? But listen to this, okay? What is he doing to make that happen? Threatening to withhold federal law enforcement funding from states and cities that refuse to go along, also known as defunding the police. How's this going to play? Let's bring in the nation's justice correspondent, Elie Mystal, and former Trump attorney, Bill Brennan. Bill, why is it okay politically, not just legally, all right? You can thread the law in, but no money for cops unless you let me cut back on mail-in voting?
Well, Chris, I agree with you. The optics are inconsistent, really, with the party's message, so to speak. But I think it's a carrot and a stick strategy. I think that the executive order says that the non-compliant states will have looming over them, like the sword of Damocles, the threat of withholding police funding. It'll be interesting to see if the rubber hits the road, if that really happens. I really think it's a carrot and the stick mentality. And as you said, the Supreme Court ruling has been largely misunderstood. Roberts basically said, don't cry until you're hit. It's premature. So it was a procedural dismissal, not a ruling on the merits. It's unclear what will happen if and when it gets back to the Supremes on the merits.
Elie, here's my problem with my own analysis, and you've written about this. If I wait for you to hit me, when I know you're going to hit me, you're telling me you're going to hit me, and you're moving towards me like this, it kind of feels like I'm going to get punched in the face for no good reason. This kind of feels like that.
Yeah, Trump is basically sitting out there like the kid in the schoolyard that says, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, you can't do anything because I'm not touching you, and the Supreme Court's like, well, he's not touching you. I think that the ruling was a bit preposterous. I think they're hiding behind procedure instead of getting to the heart of the matter. And you said you think that this is going to happen. This has already happened. The U.S. Postal Service finalized one of Trump's ridiculous rules, and states have already sued again, now on the merits to get through this Supreme Court smokescreen. My issue is that if the Supreme Court had 6 justices to hide behind ripeness on this issue, then I'm concerned that they might have 5 or 6 justices to allow Trump to go forward with these what should be flatly illegal plans to manipulate how states conduct their elections. And for the most part, that's not just me saying that, because I have spent most of my life arguing that the federal government should take more of a role in controlling state elections to stop, racism in certain states. And I am consistently told by Republicans, oh, what's their phrase? States' rights prevent the federal government from intervening in these matters. We are talking with the U.S. Postal Service about literally how the ballot is constructed. I don't want to show my age here, but I am old enough to remember 2000. Aren't you, Chris? Do you remember Palm Beach County? Do you remember the butterfly ballots that had Al Gore voters accidentally voting for Pat Buchanan? Why did that happen? That happened because of how the ballots were constructed in Florida. And when people like me in real time were just like, oh, we got to stop these things, we were told no. We were told it is Florida that gets to decide how Florida ballots work, not the U.S. federal government. So if that was true in 2000, I don't see how it can't be true in 2026.
Well, Chris,
Elie Mystal remembers that, Bill. You and I lived it.
Elie Mystal makes a good point.
Give us the legal line.
He makes a good point. I'm old enough to remember Florida in 2000. That guy that was looking up at the hanging chads. That's indicative that there's no good method. It's like they say democracy may be imperfect, but it's the best thing we got going. With the mail-in voting, we have to provide the ability for people who can't get in to vote, the ability to mail it in. But there's been a lot of problems. The New Jersey problem with the motor voter law recently, where 304 people were legitimate out of 6,600 is a good example. So it's a problem that has to be fixed. The issue here is that we have midterms coming up in November. Some states, 24 states in the District of Columbia, have joined this suit. But some states have already mailed out their forms. And
Right.
how do you unring that bell? So maybe this has to be tabled for a year because we can't. Ellie's right. States and Congress control voting, not the executive branch, but the executive branch controls the Postal Service. So we have this collision of branches. So it's got to be fixed in a practical way.
Well, the question is it just a simple collision or is it a connivance? And I'll just remind people, you don't have to be a lawyer to know this, okay? Mail-in voting has greatly increased participation, especially among suburban, exurban, and rural areas, okay? Just to know that. And as another fact, we have had no substantial mail-in balloting fraud that has ever affected the outcome of an election, unless you look at 2000, okay?
Well, Chris,
Ellie,
the president himself voted in Florida and mailed in. I mean,
you're not
that's how we
supposed to
do
make
it.
that point. You're supposed to support his side, Bill. Now you're going to
just
get
pointing out
bullied
the
in the
fact.
schoolyard.
But this
I know.
Jersey
He
thing,
did it twice.
This Jersey thing's a good example of how there are legitimate
Look,
problems out there.
But even
Nobody's
the Jersey
saying it
thing-
shouldn't be. Go ahead. Give me a last word, Ellie.
Even the Jersey thing, right? I crunched the numbers. When you look at the number of mail-in ballots that were incorrectly, and it was a total screw up. It was a mistake by New Jersey. The number of ballots that were incorrectly mailed out versus the total registered voters, it's such a minuscule percentage. I crunched the numbers. It's like ticketing a person for going 55.016 miles per hour in a 55-mile-per-hour zone.
But it
That's
may
the
be tipping the
percentage.
iceberg, Elie Mystal. It may be tipping the iceberg. We got to look into it.
Maybe. Okay,
Well,
maybe,
listen,
right?
you can
I
look
think that's
into it.
relatively unlikely.
You can look into it. You can make it better. You always can. The mistake is questioning the integrity of the overall democratic process because of it. And I think that line should be pretty bright. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.